Welcome to the Dark Beat. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Dark Beat channel, and I'm Beatrice with another episode of the Insanity series. If you're ready, let's go.
Warning. Some viewers might find the following content disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Mr. Kelly was right. I was compromised. I started running through the corridor like a madman. I was desperately trying to find out where I was. None of the room next to mine had any sign or number on them, and there was no nurse or staff around for me to ask them anything. My heart was pounding like a racehorse, but I couldn't let fear paralyze me. I had a mission, I had a task, and I had to finish it. I couldn't let them have the upper hand. But the more I ran, the more I felt like I was trapped inside of a maze. A white maze with white doors and white tiles. I started banging on the doors. There must be someone in those rooms. There must be someone to help me. Mr. Samuels? I started yelling Mr. Samuels in hopes to find his somewhere, or at least get somebody's attention. But the more I yelled, the lonelier I felt. Do you think you can drive me mad? I will turn all of you in before that happens. At that point, I didn't even know what I was saying. To be honest, the fear was paralyzing me. Did you hear me, Samuels? I'm going to turn every single one of you in. Maybe I shouldn't have said that, but I was having a panic attack. I was desperately trying to find a way out, but it was no use. There was no one in those rooms. I was all alone in the middle of a white maze. I continued running and banging on the doors. Oh Higgins, if I find you! Desperation completely took over my brain. I wasn't even thinking about my words anymore. I wasn't even thinking about my case. I just wanted to get out of this maze. Come and get me, you evil people! What are you afraid of? I screamed and banged and ran, but nothing. It felt like I'd been running for hours and hours and hours, but I failed to get anybody's attention. My captain will be looking for me. Do you think you can get away with this? I'm a cop, you lunatics! You all just dug your graves! I was completely out of control. I didn't know who I was threatening anymore. Why didn't any of them show up? I kept on running and running until I was completely out of breath. Panic and shortness of breath were not a good combination. I couldn't feel my legs and arms anymore. I will turn every single one of you in. You can't get away with this. I'll find you. Do you hear me, Samuels? I'll find you and turn you in. I was panting. I felt dizzy. My eyes started to get blurry, and there was this ringing sound inside my ear. Right before I was about to pass out, I saw silhouettes of people in white. I guess there were 3 or 4 of them. Behind those silhouettes, there was a tall man. A tall, bald man in a black suit. You maniac. That was the final thing I remember before my eyes started to drift off. Are you here to save me, Andrew? You promised, remember? Rose? Is that you? Are you okay? No, I'm not okay. I've been waiting for you for 10 years. You promised you would save me. You promised you would come for me. Why didn't you come for me? Rose, what are you talking about? I'm right here. No, you're not. They got you too. No, Rose, what are you talking about? I'm not captive. I'm here to save you. They got you too. They got you too. No, Rose, stop. No, I'm not captive. Rose, no. She started to walk away from me. I yelled out her name, but she didn't listen and just left. I blinked a few times. She was disappearing right in front of my eyes. I blinked again. No, this couldn't be happening. Oh my God, how could I let this happen? Maybe she was right. Maybe I was captive. I blinked again. The scene started to change. The field where I saw Rose started to turn into a ceiling. A white ceiling with lots of lamps on. I blinked a few more times. I felt a soft pillow behind my head. Rise and shine, Mr. Gray. That feminine, cold sound sent shivers down my spine. It was Miss Higgins. I tried to get up from where I was lying down, but my hands were tied to the headboard. What the hell? What's going on here? Why am I tied up? Her lips turned upwards. She was staring at me with that creepy smile of hers. Calm down, Mr. Gray. Everything's all right. What the hell are you talking about? Let me go. Open my hands. I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to do that, Mr. Gray. You had a panic episode. I slowly started to remember what happened before I passed out. The recordings, the files, Bethany, that white corridor. I couldn't find my way out. You guys tricked me. You hypnotized me. I couldn't remember anything. She started to write something down on her notepad. I can assure you we did not do such thing. You are here on your quest. Either she was lying or she was downright insane. How can this be? No, this was not happening. I did not do such a thing. Why would I want to stay at an asylum? You're lying. I most certainly am not. I still have paperwork which you signed. The room started to swirl around my head. I wanted to throw up. Her face looked weird. It made no sense. Why would I sign something to make me stay here? Open my hands. Why am I shackled? Like I said, you were having a panic attack. You were harming yourself. Her words made no sense. What she was saying was nothing like who I was. I never had a panic problem. I was fine right until I got here. Whatever you say happened to me, I'm fine now. You can open my hands. I need to get back to my room to access my laptop. That's not possible, Mr. Gray. All of your belongings are confiscated. Why? Everything you own was confiscated when you were admitted here. Hospital policy. You understand, right? Look, I'm sure you're right, but right now, I feel fine. I'm totally calm. I just need my stuff so I can finish my report. My boss needs them by tonight. Don't worry about your boss, Mr. Gray. Once he finds out what actually happened to you, he will understand why you didn't give him your report by tonight. Oh God, this was no use. She wasn't listening to me. Of course she wouldn't listen to me. Why would she? She thinks I'm crazy. Or maybe she's trying to drive me crazy. Just like what she did to Max and Bethany and all the others. I need to speak to Mr. Samuels. He's not at the asylum right now. For now, just rest. She got up to leave, but I couldn't have this. Wait, please, don't leave me here. Please don't leave me shackled. I need my stuff. Please just open my hands so I can get up from this bed. Please don't leave me. Calming down will be to your own benefit, Mr. Gray. Don't try to stress yourself. You evil... I'm not crazy. I do not need this. Open my freaking hands. Keep this up and you'll be in trouble. You cannot get away with this. My boss will find me. Everyone will be looking for me. You cannot do this to me. You can't get away with this. I'll turn all of you in. I'm on to you. I know what you're doing here. I know all about your evil little plans. She smiled again in that same creepy manner. She slowly walked towards me and sat by my bed. She looked me dead in the eyes. I could have sworn her pupils started to get darker. Nobody cares what you know, Mr. Gray. There's nothing you can do. We know exactly who you are now. Game over. And then placed a soft kiss on my forehead. I was creeped out to my bones. I felt like I could cry. The minute she placed her weird, evil lips on my forehead, the ticking sound started. Tick, tick, tick. I wanted to protest again, but this ticking sound paralyzed me. I don't know what I could do or what I should do. I couldn't even move. The hypnosis completely took over me. I started to drift off again, as if I was under the influence of some kind of drug or something. I couldn't resist it. Finally, I submitted and closed my eyes. Rosie, please wait. It's too late for me, Andrew. No, just tell me where you are and I'll come find you. You can't find me. I'm not here. I never was. What are you talking about, Rosie? Please tell me what's going on. Andrew, just save yourself. Forget about me. Forget all of this. None of us was never real. What are you talking about? What happened to you? What's going on here? Please leave this story alone and just save yourself. Just save yourself, Andrew. Open your eyes. Save yourself. I woke up with a sharp gasp. Rosie left again. What happened? What was going on? It must have been a dream. A recurring dream that never leaves me alone. I had this dream for over 10 years now. From the minute they took away Rosie from my arms. I had to find out what happened to her. I was whispering her name under my breath. I saw Nurse Evans standing beside me. Rosie? Rose? What happened to her? There was an IV line in my way. They were injecting me with more drugs. Nurse Evans? She looked at me with those mesmerizing eyes. To my surprise, her face had an expression. She wasn't poker-faced anymore. She looked kind of sad, worried, disappointed. I couldn't quite read it, but I was so sure it was there. Calm down, Mr. Gray. Nurse Evans, please. She tried to distract herself with the IV line, but I could see it in her eyes. She looked nervous and kind of sad. Evans, please, you need to tell me where Rosie Geller is. She frowned and turned back to look at me for the first time that I was there. Who? Rose Geller. She was admitted here 10 years ago. I have interviewed her. I saw her name in my recordings. Please, Nurse Evans, you need to help me. She walked closer to my bed and looked me straight in the eyes. There is no patient with the name of Rose Geller in this hospital. It must be because of your drugs. Her face started to show more expressions. She looked scared. I'm so sure I have interviewed her. I saw her name in my files. Please, Nurse Evans, please, don't lie to me. I'm begging you. Help me. The door opened with a loud bang. It was Mr. Sanders. Miss Evans, your job here is done. She nervously grabbed a few files from the nightstand and left the room. If there was anyone who could tell me what was happening, it was her. The first thing I needed to do was to free myself from this room and just talk to her. I knew I could get through to her. She looked different. She wasn't like them. From the moment I saw her, I knew she didn't want to be here. Her face had expressions on it, unlike the rest of them. Gray, gray, gray. He chanted as he walked towards my bed. He sat down on the chair that Miss Higgins was sitting earlier. I couldn't speak. I was so scared. I felt so cold, but I couldn't wrap myself in anything because my hands were shackled. What do you want from me? Finally, I gathered the courage to form words. Do you think we didn't know who you are? And then you said put in the asylum? It all started to make sense. They knew who I was. They knew why I was here. That was why they did this to me. But the why doesn't matter now. What mattered was the fact that I needed to break free. I needed to talk to Evans. You can never break me. You can never talk to Evans. Oh wait, I was right. He could see right through my brain. How? Oh my god. Panic took over me one more time. Yes, that's right. I can see right through my wretched brain. There's a lot more I can do. I can make you disappear, like you never existed. I can make your precinct disappear, your superior officers, all of your family members will disappear. Just like what I did to your little Rosie. I tried to break my hands free so I could punch him right across the face. It was so nerve-wracking that I couldn't get up to spit in his face. What did you do to her? Where is she? You need to take your medicine. Don't you dare. You'll be just fine. All you need to do is to take your medicine like a good little boy. He took something out of his coat pocket and injected it into my IV line. My heart was beating so fast it was hard to catch up. My throat started tightening up. What did he give me? What was going on? What was he doing to me? I felt helpless. I was helpless. Whatever he wanted to do to me, he did it. There was no one who could save me now. Either I would go insane, or I would die. Whatever he injected into my IV line started to take effect immediately. The ticking sound that was in my head got faster and faster and faster until it was a continuous beat. It turned into a flat line. It was so sharp that it wasn't letting me think. I wasn't able to think anymore. I wasn't able to close my eyes. Whatever he injected into my IV line was turning me into an emotionless doll. Honestly, after a while, I grew to like him. It was liberating. I could have stayed like this forever. Mr. Samuels started to open the shackles of my hands. I slowly got up from my bed and shook his hand. Thank you, Mr. Samuels. If you needed it, I'll be in there. Episode 7. What did you think? Oh my god, this is getting so dark and you're so not ready for what's about to happen next. Soon we'll put up a new video on episode 8. Make sure to subscribe to my channel to be notified when we put it up. Until next time, bye bye.